So I'm about to be moving. This won't be my backdrop for long, but for right now, we're gonna go with it anyways and get this started. Hi everyone, my name is Skylar and welcome to my channel. I did make a few videos multiple years ago, but wasn't feeling those, and we're gonna go a different direction and get this restarted again because I do still want to give this a good honest shot, just not in the way that I did before. Maybe we'll incorporate some of the booktube that I did back then, but for right now we're gonna try spinning in a different direction. This is just going to be kind of an update video, who am I kind of thing, and what exactly am I thinking about doing with this channel. That's kind of what this is going to be. So with that said, who am I? Well, I am an aspiring author. I have been writing for years. Started off with fan fiction way back in the day, back in high school, and then I've been slowly transferring over to more original stories. So that's what we're doing here. I do consider myself more of a fantasy or romance author, sometimes combining the two into the romantasy sphere, or more like fantasy with romance. No, actually, I would say romance with fantasy elements. That's how I would describe it more if I was going to combine them. But anyway, that's another story entirely, and maybe a totally different video idea of what exactly I want to write. But I have completed at least one first draft. That's about it. I started on multiple others and just never completed, but hopefully that's going to change. I have a really good, solid foundation with one that I say solid, but I am a pantser. That's another thing about me. I'm a pantser, not a plotter. Have tried plotting and I just lose all spark for my story. So pantser it is, and that's kind of what we're gonna roll with. I have like a decent little roadmap in my mind of like things I want to hit, but I'm not actually planning them out. I'm barely even writing them out, to be honest with you, and just planning to hit them as I see fit, because if I plan it out too much, I either just completely go off of that anyways, like completely veer off that track and roadmap, or I just lose inspiration for it. So we're gonna try the other way of just pantsing it, or mostly pantsing it with tiny little bit of plotting. That's the current plan. A couple other little things about me. I am a fur baby parent. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs, and I love them all to death. They are amazing and they drive me crazy sometimes, but I love them. So best things that ever happened to me. Oh, and another thing, it's not just me taking care of these 4 little babies. I do have a fiance, so I am engaged and getting married within the next year. So there are some goals with preparing for the wedding as well, which I'll talk about in a little bit, because maybe I'll film that too, who knows. And yeah, I'm about to move, so this won't be the backdrop for uber long, but it's gonna be here for somewhat longer. And as of right now, I do work in insurance, and so I'm like licensed and all that stuff, and I did go to college for things such as advertising, entrepreneurship, writing, and literature. So that's a lot, but it's mainly advertising with the others as minors, so just some fun things there. I kind of dabbled around a good amount in college to try to figure out what I wanted to do and picked up some things along the way. So I'm hoping to try to use that in this, because as much as I love my job, to be honest, I'm not using it there, which is totally fine. I know that happens a lot, but that's kind of where I'm at now, and I still want to use those in some way. So that's kind of where this is leading me. Some hobbies of mine, or things that I'm trying to focus on a little bit more, is obviously the writing and reading. I am trying to read more now that I'm like out of college. However, we'll see if I actually get back to the level I was in grade school or high school. Probably not, but we'll see. And I have been trying to go to the gym very frequently. It hasn't been quite as well as I would have liked, because I've been feeling a little under the weather the last couple of months, but we're going to try to pick that up as hopefully, it gets warmer and everything and the weather gets nicer. I'll be able to do more, whether that's going to the gym or going biking or just going for walks, anything along those lines, to just try to keep myself moving, because it does feel good. It's not always fun to get started with, but in the end, it feels nice to have accomplished that. There are some things that I wouldn't mind getting back into, but I'm not actively working on. And one of those is like crocheting. I know how to crochet and I enjoy doing it. It's just not something that I've spent a lot of time with lately because of everything else I'm wanting to do. I also do enjoy video games, but that is another thing that has taken a back burner, but I wouldn't mind dabbling into a little bit more. And maybe not on this channel, but maybe I'll try to work on that to some extent and incorporate it somewhere. So that's a quick little rundown about me. And what do I have planned for this channel? As of right now, I'm kind of winging it. I have some ideas that I can develop and work on, but in of itself, I don't know for certain. So that's going to be fun to figure out because I'm just trying to see what I enjoy doing and what might stick, but you know, might find a happy balance between what I enjoy and what does okay at the very least. So that's kind of where that's at. I wouldn't mind doing some things about like goals and talking about that. I used to enjoy making like little bingo cards and trying to do like book bingos. I've thought about bringing those back to some extent, but we'll see. I'm not for certain on that. I think a lot of it is maybe just following my story as a writer, like what exactly is happening and where I'm at with my writing journey, because I do want to be traditionally published. That's kind of my goal. However, I am kind of interested in the self-publishing route, more so traditional though. But self-publishing has kind of, you know, it's not completely out of the question. It's not like going to be for certain, not the path that I'm actively pursuing, but it is something that I have considered. And another thing that I've thought about filming is stuff towards my wedding. I don't know how in-depth I'm going to be about that, just because I probably want to keep my personal life and that life and anything I do online a little bit separate, but I'm not for sure exactly how much or anything to that extent. But I may talk a little bit about wedding planning and stuff like that, because we do have a decent amount figured out, but now that we're coming down to about 13, I think we're somewhere between 13 and 14 months at this point, you know, that is getting a little bit more real. But that is something that I may film here, not for certain of that yet, but a possibility. And outside of that, you might see my little fur babies here and there. Maybe I'll take you guys on some adventures, like maybe if I go mountain biking, or if I start crocheting again, or if I decide to, you know, go to the gym and take you guys with me, maybe I'll do that. I am trying to get more used to filming, so we'll see on that one, because I don't like the idea of filming in public as of right now, but maybe I'll warm up to that. But as of right now, I feel like this is a pretty good intro, pretty good place to stop, so that's what I'm gonna do. Thank you for watching. Bye!